The Congress party is facing yet another desert storm, another chapter in the Pilot-Gehlot saga that simply refuses to die down. It's been on since the last 5 years. On Monday night, Sachin Pilot announced a day-long hunger strike. Now, the official reason was to demand an investigation against former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje Scindia's government. But everyone knows who the real target here was. Sachin Pilot has been eyeing the Chief Minister's chair ever since the Congress swept to power in Rajasthan in 2018. The party, however, has stuck with Ashok Gehlot. They had asked Sachin Pilot to not go ahead with today's hunger strike. In fact, the party's Rajasthan in charge said such a protest would be anti-party. Yet Mr. Pilot went ahead with it. He sat on strike in Jaipur along with his supporters. But interestingly, there were no Congress symbols or pictures anywhere around him. It was him versus the party. By evening, though, the Congress was spared further embarrassment. Sachin Pilot announced that he was ending his fast, but added that his struggle against corruption would continue. Listen in to what he said after his Maun Vrat ended.
सुबह जानकारी मिली है, इस बारे में कांग्रेस लीडरशिप से बात करूंगा। राहुल जी ने, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने पार्लियामेंट के अंदर और पार्लियामेंट के बाहर, और मैं कहता हूं ना सिर्फ कांग्रेस ने, तमाम विपक्षी पार्टियों ने एकजुटता दिखाई है। किस मुद्दे पर दिखाई है? करप्शन के मुद्दे पर। और उसी करप्शन को इश्यू को लेकर मैंने अपनी बात को रखा था। अगर कोई बात संगठन की होती तो निश्चित रूप से मैं संगठन प्लेटफॉर्म पर करता, लेकिन सरकार से संबंधित मामला था और मैंने आग्रह किया लिखित रूप से। 1 साल से पहले मैंने आग्रह किया था। अब समय जब 6-7 महीने का रह गया है, इसी को लेकर मैंने मांग रखी थी। मैं समझता हूं करप्शन पर अगर हमारी जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी है तो उस पर हमें कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए। करप्शन के खिलाफ पूरा देश है, ना सिर्फ विपक्ष लेकिन तमाम विपक्षी पार्टियां और कांग्रेस और हम सब लोग मिलकर इसके खिलाफ संघर्ष करते हैं।
Now, just moments after Mr. Pilot began his fast, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot released a video message. He listed out the many programs and policies implemented by his government. He also promised to make Rajasthan the #1 state in the country by 2029. What's more, that video message was endorsed by the Congress party. Take a look at this.
मैंने तय किया है कि साल 2030 तक मुझे राजस्थान को देश का #1 राज्य बनाना है। इस सपने को साकार करने के लिए पिछले 4 बजट एवं इस साल के बचत राहत बजट वाले बजट में मैंने ऐसी योजना बनाई है जो किसी दूसरे राज्य में नहीं है। किसी भी राज्य में 500 रुपए में गैस सिलेंडर नहीं भरवाया जा रहा है और न ही ऐसी किसी योजना पर विचार किया जा रहा है। सिर्फ राजस्थान में 10 लाख रुपए का दुर्घटना बीमा दिया जा रहा है बिना किसी प्रीमियम के। इस तरह से और भी बहुत सारे ऐतिहासिक फैसले किए गए हैं जिनसे राजस्थान के लोगों को महंगाई से राहत मिलेगी, पैसे की बचत होगी और आज की इस बचत से हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ी को मदद मिलेगी।
Okay. So it seems like the battle lines have been drawn. Sachin Pilot and his supporters feel his time has come. They believe it's time for a change of guard. But with Mr. Gehlot standing firm, the Congress finds itself in a very tough spot. Later this year, Rajasthan will be voting for its next government. And this is a state that has a habit of alternating parties. So the last thing the Congress needs right now is infighting. And unfortunately for them, that's exactly what they have. The High Command has asked both leaders to solve their differences within the party. But from the looks of it, Sachin Pilot is nearing the end of his patience. The question is, will this end with another leader, another dynast, leaving the Congress party? Let me go straight across to someone who has done exactly that. Anil Antony is the son of senior Congress leader A.K. Antony, who was also, just by the way, the Defence Minister of India. Anil quit the Congress in January amidst the BBC documentary Rao. And then last week, he joined the BJP. Hi, Anil. Good evening. Good to have you on the show.
Hi, Shreya.
Can I ask you what you make of this entire saga that is... Hi. Can you tell me what you make of this entire saga that's playing out in Rajasthan vis-a-vis Mr. Pilot?
Thank you, Shreya. So first of all, I would say that now I have left the Congress party. I have joined a new party that I am absolutely convinced is the only national party that has a long-term vision and direction to take this country forward under the leadership of our Prime Minister. So I'm very happy where I am. And I would not like to comment much on the Congress, but I can absolutely sympathize with Sachin in Rajasthan. I can understand what is happening in Rajasthan. And what is happening in Rajasthan is not at all surprising. You look at the last 2-3 years, you had some of the tallest leaders in the Congress at that point of time who had spent 4-5 decades, 6 decades in the party, like Amarinder Saab, like Ghulam Nabi Saab, to many promising senior, leaders like Jyotiradittya ji and Hemanta ji, and even young promising leaders who all left one by one because they all found that there were some issues that were fundamentally wrong with the party, the Congress party. I also made it very clear the day I resigned from the party when I said that at that particular point of time, the party, I fundamentally believe that every political party exists for a purpose, and the purpose is to push the interest of the people, to push the interest of the country, the national interest, the core interest of the country. But right now, while I was in the Congress in the last few months, while the few short time I worked for the party, I realized that that is not the intention of the party, that is not the purpose of the party. Even rather than prioritizing on the core national or the public interest, the party is interested to push the interest of the party just exists to work for the interest and welfare of well-being of one, 2-3 people and another 2-3 people who are surrounding that those individuals, and that is what the party has been reduced to. So I can completely understand somebody like a Sachin or many other people who I'm sure would like to do something meaningful for the public, something meaningful for his people of his state, etc., to be stifled because they are not allowed to do what they are supposed to do. And I can see.
So, Anil, essentially what you're telling me is that the entire party is structured to look after the interest of only 2-3 individuals. You don't name them. I will. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Sonia Gandhi. Point is that Sachin has been close to the Gandhis, and yet for the last 5 years he's been kept hanging. Is it your sense that he could be, he is someone who is looking for other options? He could take off from the Congress party, as it were? Is that the sense you get?
See, I can't speak for Sachin nor the Congress party. These are questions Sachin will, I'm sure, eventually answer with time. But I will tell very clearly that if there is a person who is interested to work for the long-term well-being of the country and the people, there is only one place, there is only one party that is right now doing that. And that is why a lot of people who left the party in the last few months, years, joined the Bhartiya Janata Party, and they are all doing very well. Like Hemanta ji has now proven himself to be one of the best chief ministers of the country. Jyotiradittya ji is now working as a very top performing person in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet. So people are working.
Anil, this is an open invitation. This is an open invitation by a BJP member to Sachin Pilot to come and join the BJP. Question is, his ambitions are very clear. He wants to be the chief minister of the state. Will the BJP pick Sachin Pilot over Vasundhara Raje Scindia as the chief ministerial candidate? Answer that question, since you're extending an open invitation.
See, I don't think I'm qualified to answer that. I just joined a new party. I'm just here for the last 2-3 days, and these are all decisions which leadership decides. But at the same time, I don't think for Sachin Pilot, let me complete this. Personally, I don't think Sachin Pilot's problem is the chief ministership. He resigned as a deputy CM and the PCC president 2 years back. It's almost 2 years, and I'm very sure you know how Mr. Pilot is utilized by the party. He comes for occasional press conferences again to defend the gaffes and bloopers of a particular individual or 2-3 people, but I don't think he is doing anything meaningful in the Congress party. So I can understand why a person like Mr. Pilot is feeling this way.
Okay, Anil Antony, good to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us at the top of 8. Will Sachin Pilot follow your footsteps and leave the Congress party and probably be headed to the BJP? We do not know. Let's see how this pans out. This is an election year in Rajasthan after all. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, Anil. My other guest this evening, Sumit Godara, is a BJP MLA from Rajasthan, joining us on the broadcast. Varun Singh is a political analyst with us in the studio. Hi, thank you very much. Not too many people managed to make it to our studios, so I'm very glad you did. Mr. K. Choudhury is a political analyst, will be speaking on behalf of the Congress party. Thank you very much. Kapil Madan is a political analyst. He's a lawyer as well. Mr. Choudhury, can I please come to you first? You know, for the last 5 years, we've been talking about the Congress's desert storm, right? And it comes every 2 years. It came in 2018, it came in 2020, it came in 2022, and now it has come in 2023 as well, beginning of 2023 itself. This is a wound, a problem that has been festering for the last 5 years. And yet the Congress party, to its embarrassment, has not been able to resolve it. Would you say that's a complete failure of the party and its leadership?
No, Shreya, I will not put it up that way. You know, the mango season comes every year. You know, it all depends within the family. There might be disputes on how you eat a mango. Choose ke khaye ki kaat kar khaye. There is always a debate within the family. So it's always there. Sachin Pilot, by the way, today, whatever he has done, he has set on a dharna to highlight the poor promises that were given to the state of Rajasthan before 2018. And he was right in very right in pointing out those issues. You see, Shreya, one way we find the entire central government agencies are being used against political leaders from the opposition, particularly the Congress party, and Rahul Gandhi in very particular, how he was harassed, how his constituency was snatched away from him, how his house was being snatched away from him. Now the question that Sachin Pilot was putting out to the people today was, first let me tell you, Sachin Pilot is not a mean ordinary leader. He is a leader of the masses. There are millions of his followers spread across the entire country. So Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan holds a sway on the entire direction the politics is going to take in Rajasthan in the next 6 months. Having said that, you see, Sachin Pilot in his own way has sent out a message to the people that, look, we are there to fulfill the promises despite all those the schemes that Ashok Gehlot government has brought out into the public domain right now. Has been giving to the people of Rajasthan. That is okay. That is very much well appreciated. Like the right to health, like other schemes that are being launched out there in Rajasthan year on year. But the basic point that was there, when the central government agencies are harassing the Congress leaders, why should Rajasthan government not be going after the corrupt BJP leaders? That is his main point. Why are we going soft on them? So when I said I gave them an
Mr.
analogy
Choudhury,
of the mango,
are we
how do you
seriously,
eat it?
Mr.
The
Choudhury,
difference lies out there. There is a difference.
Mr. Choudhury, do you seriously expect anyone watching this broadcast to believe that Sachin Pilot's dharna in Monvrat was against the BJP's corruption and not against his enemy number one, which is Ashok Gehlot? Come on, Mr. Choudhury. We all know what's going on in Rajasthan. We all know that in the 2018 elections, Sachin had emerged as the golden boy, the blue-eyed boy of Rajasthan's politics, because many people said that it was his hard work that had won the Congress party Rajasthan. After that, what happens? It is reasonable for him, I would assume, to expect that he's made chief minister, but something happens and Mr. Gehlot is picked as chief minister. So for the last 5 years, that wound has been festering. We know this dharna had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the BJP. But in any case, let me get Sumit Godara into this debate. He's a BJP MLA. Sumit ji, सवाल ये है कि ये जो धरना हुआ है इसको बीजेपी किस तरह से देख रही है? कांग्रेस में फूट है तो बीजेपी के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन सचिन पायलट बोल रहे हैं कि इतने धांधलीबाजी हुई है कांग्रेस बीजेपी की सरकार में, वसुंधरा राजे ने इतनी धांधलेबाजी की है, उनके खिलाफ कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन हमारी सरकार क्यों नहीं कर रही है? तो ये निशाना आप पे भी है क्या या सिर्फ गहलोत जी पे है?
Shreya, the point is that the first thing is that why Sachin Pilot is raising this issue. It would have been better if Sachin Pilot would have raised the issue that why is Rajasthan number one in corruption at present in India? Why is Rajasthan number one in atrocities on female? Why is Rajasthan number one on atrocities on SC. He has escaped all this, and he is to divert the attention to score the brownie points which he is always having with CM Ashok Gehlot. He has raised this issue as a dharna. The only point is that Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot are product of what Congress has always been since Indira Gandhi, where they used to always have satraps in states fighting among themselves. But today India has changed, and that is why the Congress is going in the back burner all over. What Congress did is all coming back to it. It's an echo effect which Congress is going through. And Sachin Pilot for 4.5 years. For 4.5
Go ahead,
years,
complete your point, sir.
for 4.5 years, what Rajasthan is going through. You see no development. We just few days back, all hospitals in Rajasthan were closed for 20 days against our right to health bill, which suppose so-called right to health bill. There is no government in Rajasthan. You have the CM who's having both the Home Ministry with himself, all the Finance Ministry with himself, with trusting list on what his cabinet ministers, and what Rajasthan is going through. All MLAs of Congress are all in making money and spree, all in corruption. It would have been better if Sachin Pilot had raised that issue in this dharna to what Congress MLAs are doing, what corruption they are spreading in Rajasthan, and why is Rajasthan becoming number one state of corruption in India.
But Sumit are you backing Sachin Pilot here? What exactly is it that you're doing? Because with what you have said, it seems that the BJP is backing Sachin Pilot. Exactly the charge that Ashok Gehlot had made, a year ago.
What? I am saying both they are Ashok Gehlot and Pilot just to lead the state. Their own brownie points. They are taking Rajasthan state to back burner. That's what people of Rajasthan are suffering. People of Rajasthan, about the corruption we are going through, we have never seen such in state of Rajasthan what is going through. If you go through ground report, you'll find all MLAs, all ministers, bureaucracy into this. Highest corruption which in Rajasthan we have seen, and CM Saab has given the whole freedom just so that his government can say. And what we saw in September when there was Congress leadership sent a message to all the member of legislative assemblies to get together. The Honorable CM Saab was one who to defy that. So this is what these are fighting, and what Rajasthan is suffering.
But the BJP should be celebrating. Give me a minute here. It's an election year. Give me a minute here. Because as we speak, Sachin Pilot has just put out a tweet. He writes, and I'm quoting him, "The public's promise will be fulfilled. Every corruption case should be investigated, and Rajasthan is determined to uphold the truth." Mr. Godara, the fact also is that the friendship between Mr. Gehlot and Ms. Vasundhara Raje Scindia is very well known. The impression is that Mr. Gehlot has gone out on a limb to protect Vasundhara Raje Scindia, and that is what Sachin Pilot is upset about. But just come in here, Kapil Madan. Fact is, we've seen Sachin Pilot's tweet. He's just put it out. Fact is, the Congress doesn't seem to learn from its past. It has made similar mistakes in the past. It happened in Madhya Pradesh. What had happened in Madhya Pradesh? Kamal Nath and Jyotiraditya Scindia were vying for the chief minister's post. What happens? Does the Congress sort out the issue? No, it doesn't sort out the issue. The issue keeps festering, and lo and behold, Mr. Scindia walks into the arms of the BJP, the waiting arms of the BJP. So the Congress has a bad habit of not learning from its lessons. Would you agree with that? Kapil, you'll have to unmute yourself. वो Sachin Pilot का मौन व्रत is over now.
Yes. So Shreya, I was listening very patiently to the opening part of the debate wherein Mr. Anil Antony mentioned about, he made some allegation about Congress party, and the usual charge the Congress party faces is about the dynasty politics. And I was, quite amused to hear the views of Mr. Antony. What he talked was only noise without any substance. He doesn't know when the Food Security Act was passed, who passed the Food Security Act. He does not know when and who passed the Right to Education Act. He does not know, when the Right to Information Act, these kind of, reformative acts were given. So while he was talking about, government that works for the people, he has absolutely no knowledge about what the previous government has done. Now, coming on to my second, point where he talks about dynasty, and I was equally amused when I was hearing Mr. Antony talking about dynasty, because the fact that he has gone out of the party shows that the party does not really care about dynasty, and the party does not really care. The party rewards the performance, not just because you are the son of some minister, you will be given some. So the charge which the Congress party faces usually of the dynasty, Mr. Antony was miserably contradicting himself. Now coming to Mr. Pilot's issue here. Now I agree with you to an extent that these kind of an issue should be discussed collaboratively within the party. And I was also hearing what Mr. Godara was saying. So while Mr. Godara does not dispute the fact that Mr. Sachin Pilot is raising the issue of substance, he is raising an issue of corruption against Vasundhara Raje. And what are the allegations against Vasundhara Raje? Corruption in mining. There was some allegation about the IPL scam, and these kind of allegations are there. And I would just say here you have a party at the center that controls the ED, that controls the CBI. Both these agencies work with high intensity against allegations or cases where opposition leaders are being named. Okay. Why no dharna against these entities? Why is Mr. Pilot not asking the central government to initiate action, initiate ED proceedings, or maybe a corruption investigation?
Because this dharna wasn't about Vasundhara Raje or the BJP's corruption. I think all of us know that, Kapil. This dharna wasn't about Vasundhara Raje, or it wasn't about about the BJP's corruption. It was solely targeted at Mr. Gehlot. And that is what the Congress party has come to. That one senior leader openly will hold a dharna against another senior leader. After showing some videos of Mr. Gehlot speaking about Vasundhara Raje's corruption. Give me a minute here. Varun, come in here. Everyone seems to be confused about what to say on this. मतलब जो कांग्रेस वालों ने समझ नहीं आ रहा बोले क्या किसकी तरफ से बैटिंग करें. I want to ask you this. The Congress has this subtle art of making itself very unhappy. It'll see a well and go and jump inside that well. Again, as I was just quoting the Madhya Pradesh example, same thing played out. Pradyot, before going, said, is it your sense that Sachin Pilot, after 5 years, after being, latkaud as it were, by the party high command for the last 5 years, will walk out of the party? Has the time come? Or will he just wait for Mr. Gehlot to retire?
I think Sachin Pilot has taken a leaf from Pradyot's history or story. Tripura election has showed that you don't need a Gandhi if you're a good enough a face. You can float a small party, contest election and win. And probably Sachin Pilot wants to do that. And that is one thing I could sense of whatever I have been talking to people since morning. There's one message that I would like to give to most of those Congress leaders and Congress sympathizers, that try to solve the problem, introspect, go to the problem. 6 months before this, all these Congress sympathizers were claiming that Gehlot was acting like a BJP agent when he refused the president post. And today, these are the same people who are accusing Sachin Pilot of acting as a BJP agent. I think BJP doesn't need, they are in a happy space right now. They don't need anyone as an opposition, because when they have leaders like these.
With an opposition like these, who needs an opposition?
Absolutely. The PCC chief, in charge, coming out with a letter directly threatening Sachin Pilot. Why would you not try to solve? कितना time लगता है? फोन उठाओ, बात करो यार. तुम letter निकाल रहे हो, बोल रहे हो कि तुम anti-party activities कर रहे हो, you will be thrown out. They do not want to learn from Punjab. They do not want to learn from MP. They do not want to learn from Assam. They do not want to learn from Maharashtra or any other state. They are still living in a silo because they are probably surrounded by people who keeps telling the dynasty that आप हो तो party है, हम सब कुछ संभाल लेंगे.
But the fact is that Sachin Pilot is, Varun, at least was perceived to be close to the Gandhis.
Wasn't Scindia considered to be as the
So was
closest?
Pradyut?
Absolutely. RPN Singh, or maybe for that example, if I have to talk about Kapil Sibal, till a very long time. You know, while we talk about the younger generation, even the older generation has started leaving the party because they feel disillusioned. And sorry to say, you know, someone was talking about how Anil Antony was talking and didn't make and there was no substance. The substance is that Anil Antony left the party where he felt there is no hope. He never said that he wanted, he has shown his ambitions. Here in the party or in the Congress, there is no one who can have an ambition and stay. And I think Sachin Pilot has realized it. Probably it is a clear indication that जब तक गहलोत है तब तक Sachin Pilot कुछ नहीं कर सकते, या तो गहलोत को हटाओ या तो Pilot जा रहे हैं.
And Mr. Gehlot isn't going anywhere in a hurry.
Absolutely.
And even if he decides to, there is his son that he needs to take care of.
What action has been taken against Mr. Gehlot? If I'm not wrong, Kharge had said, and when he became the president, it was clear that there would be some action, some inquiry initiated against Gehlot for refusing the president post. There was so much of anger against Gehlot. See, Sachin Pilot might be the face, might be a good-looking guy, young chap, but right now Gehlot has figures, and probably the Congress also knows that most of the MLAs into
Yeah,
it.
that's fair enough. That Mr. Gehlot does have the numbers and Sachin doesn't have the numbers. That's the cold hard fact that Sachin Pilot and the Congress party have to look at as well. But as I said, Mr. Choudhury, will you at least, I'll give you the last word here, will you at least concede that this, you know, the Congress, this is a major embarrassment for the Congress party in an election year, in an election-bound state. Would you at least concede to that you have the top two leaders of the Congress party publicly sparring with each other, and for the last 5 years, the Gandhis, who are the Karta Dhartas of the Congress party, have not been able to do anything about this feud that has been playing out. It's a big failure as far as the leadership is concerned, sir.
No, Shreya, I will not put it that way. Rather, I will have a different take on this, absolutely. Right now, let me speak as a devil's advocate out here and cite the example of Assam out here. Hemanta Biswa Sharma wanted to be the Chief Minister of Assam, where Sarbananda Sonowal had a very successful 5 years in governance. Now, what did the BJP do? Here the BJP was in power in the state as well as in the central government. So, it was very easy for Sarbananda Sonowal to be adjusted in the union cabinet, and Hemanta Biswa Sharma became the government. But this luck does not hold for the Congress party right now. We are having very top-class leadership within the party. Ashok Gehlot itself is one of the toppest leaders. And Sachin Pilot, you know, is very much loved and adored by the youth of this country. Rather, I will tell that, leave aside the Congress workers. Now, the point is that if the Congress party,
you know, the BJP
manages to lose
Choudhury,
Sachin Pilot, let's say,
Mr. Choudhury, point is that the BJP has enough discipline that if Mr. Sonowal is asked to go to the centre, he will go to the centre. In the case of the Congress party, Mr. Gehlot was being asked to come to the central leadership to become president. Look what he did. Googly fek diya. Because there is no discipline in the Congress party. Everyone can get away doing what they want to and saying what they want to. For example,
it's not a question
I mean, what were the words used by Mr. Gehlot for Sachin Pilot? Gaddar. That he and his MLAs have taken money. You know, to rebel against him. We've all heard of those things, but there seems to be no discipline within the Congress party, which is why people get away with whatever they want to. Yes,
just one thing, you know, Mr. Choudhury should go back in Congress's history.
Congress last 10 seconds, if you don't mind,
sitting CM and throw him and instate someone new, and no one would rebel. I can give you multiple examples. Vilas Rao Deshmukh was thrown out, Sushil Kumar Shinde was sworn in. Ashok Raj Chavan was thrown out, Prithviraj Chavan was sworn in. There was no, and none of them were given any central leadership at that point of time. Even though Congress was in center, Congress has lost that particular sheen where they could go and tell their leaders, boss, this is a party, you need to behave in a way.
Okay, you wanted 10 seconds, Mr. Choudhury. I'll give you that and wrap the show. Please go ahead.
Don't be simplistic in that way, Shreya. The point is that there is a rebellion in Karnataka right now. Jagdish Shetty, the ex-chief minister of BJP, he is not getting a ticket. He is in a rebellion mood out there. Discipline, indiscipline is a different chapter out there. Now, here there is an ideological warfare that is going on between the old think tank of the Congress and the new think tank of the Congress. Rather, I belong to the new think tank of the Congress, we are very much impatient. We are fighting a fight that we never fought in our electoral lives, in our political life, and that is against the RSS and the BJP. That is the toughest
Okay.
fight that we are doing. And we are
Mr.
patient
Choudhury,
along with
you are
Sachin Pilot.
absolutely a
We
wrong
need
code.
results overnight.
That's
There
what
is a
BJP
difference
is all
between
about.
that.
We are a cadre-based party.
No,
and
but
for
you
us, party
in
comes
Rajasthan, you
first.
seem to be fighting against each other. Sir, in Rajasthan, the Congress is not fighting the BJP or the RSS. They are fighting each other. We'll leave it there for the moment. This has been a good chat. Thank you, Sumit ji, for joining us. Varun Singh, Mr. K. Choudhury, Kapil Madan. Thanks, Varun, for coming in. I'm slipping into a quick break on the show. I can tell you the last word on this war between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot has not been said. It will play out through this year, and it is an election year, so it's bound to. Slipping into a break, there's much more news on the other side. Do stay with us.